Good morning, or afternoon, or evening, or whatever. Smoky Shadow. Hope y'all are doing well on this extraordinarily smoky day. Smoky, it's your day. Look at that haze. It's horrible. Really bad smoke. We moved from Montana to get away from this, and I didn't get far. We were tired of all those fires up there and the government setting them and burning up our country. Anyway, happy remember our inside job day. Happy FF day. You know, happy. Oh yeah. So I got an interesting thought I want to share with you, and it's based on some thoughts and conversations. Let's take a quick walk over here and say hello to the piglets. We've been working on trying to get cleaned up from the overgrowth of summer. I have no idea where all that grass seed comes from. You know, that place was completely burned out. It had to come in on the tiller tines. Totally new grass this year. Let's take a look at the piglets. So, some of you have had the opportunity to discuss some issues that I've had with family, particularly my dad. My dad and I have had a tumultuous relationship our entire lives. Never really understanding each other, never really getting along, and always being, how should I say this, a crux. I'll say a crux in, no, that's not the right words. I'll show you something here. Y'all remember this? We've been working on getting this polyed and then put up in the lower cabin here. Got a lot more to put up, but thought I'd show you that since y'all haven't really seen a lot of my handiwork. Did this on the other cabin and the putting tile up down there now. So I exchanged emails with my dad, and he and I are on two different planets. We're totally in two different planets. He's a normie. He's completely eats all the propaganda bullshit, but he's in his upper 80s, and he does not comprehend that there could be anything different than what you're told. So, in order to lighten what has been a very harsh conversation, look at that basil. Gorgeous. Don't want you dumping seed in here. And we've changed some topics up. And it's lightened the mood and the conversation. It's kind of strange, because he said before he didn't ever want to talk to me, but he keeps emailing me. It's a really weird relationship. Would you look? I actually have some strawberries popping out since that last rain. Smokey, I see you. So, we've changed topics on a few things. See, we've been cleaning this out. T has done an amazing job while I'm working all these other projects and literally hand digging up all the weeds and carrying out as much as we can and piling it up there. Incredible. And then I tilled to try and prepare for winter. But this last couple of days, he started asking me about some other topics, and the other topics are this business of being able to transfer your mind, your consciousness, or your memories or whatever over to hard drive, a computer hard drive. And he was talking about, well, what about self-awareness? Self-awareness. There's your little piggies. They're all quiet now. They're just adorable. One of the things I got to do today is run up and post an ad for these guys on Craigslist. So T's getting ready to work on some more of that tongue and groove. So he mentions this deal about being self-aware, and he's talking about elephants and octopus and these other animals having self-awareness. And so I replied back to him about some basics, some understandings about self-awareness. Is something. Oh, how did I say this? That we all are energy. We all are all consciousness. We are all. I'll walk over here in the shade for a minute. We are all, and I tried to make a little distinction between self-aware, or try to inquire about what self-awareness is, and what consciousness is, and what energy is, and what a soul is, because y'all know about the crazy plans of some of these insane elite that want to become immortal by putting their consciousness and their souls into the AI, into the cloud, because that's kind of what he was talking about. And thinking about this, and so I go back to some fundamental things, and when I talk to you guys about certain things, once you learn certain concepts, an intelligent, wise, thinking, teachable individual will apply those concepts to other things beyond just their own the topic that's at hand when they're learning things. So when you're woodworking skill sets, you learn something there. Well, you can apply some concepts of woodworking and stuff to when you're canning. It's a myriad of overlap in how we think, how we work, and so on and so forth. And I know some of you will remember this, some of you won't, but we got into many discussions over the years about etymology, or the study of words and the meanings and the vibration and the frequencies of each word, each syllable, and how that all plays into the fact that, we've had our language usurped, and we've had the meanings and definitions of a lot of the words that we use changed, tweaked, reinvented, and all that. And language is a fluid thing. I'll give you that. And language moves through time in some essences, but not in its energy. So certain words have energy based on their frequency, their sounds, their sound waves. That vibrational energy isn't going to change. And I think the people who would have power over us know that in doing so, it changes what we manifest in this world. So if we're saying things that we don't understand what they mean, like using the word government, and we've gone through all the different examples, but to use words that we don't understand the meaning of, that we can't communicate. And so I went back to that fundamental understanding, to stand under that knowledge. Understanding, we talked about that word. To stand under that knowledge. What are you? Oh, you're cleaning your foot. And say brrr, and so let's apply that to the words self-aware. Shadow is very aware of herself. She is. But does she have a consciousness and a soul on the same level as humans? There are a lot of opinions. Some of you out there, I would say, would think yes. There's some of you out there that think animals are little people. Some of you would say no. But is she self-aware? Are others self-aware in the same respect as we are? I'm not sure I can answer that in a way that would be definitive. But where I was going with this is this. Judging on what I've learned, and many of you have learning, is that we've lived in lies about history, lies about the monetary system, lies about who people are, lies, and damn lies. And because of that, and because we haven't been able to communicate properly, and because of the dysfunction that has been throughout humanity for a long time, the actual, because I was going on, in my email response to him about, what these things are. Let's define them, and he came back with, basically, this conversation is mute. This doesn't make sense. I don't understand you kind of response, and so I would propose that not even the majority of our human population is truly self-aware. There appears to me to be a massive numbness, numb to the things going around by the majority of the population. Most of you that are watching this tend to be, quite a bit more sensitive because we're observing things that are closer to the truth, closer to the realities, maybe. I hope we're going that way. That, the lies around us, the Matrix. Interestingly enough, there's a new Matrix coming out, and it was really, really odd. We watched a preview last night of the Matrix, and they got some 1960s music that they were playing in it, and it just didn't seem to fit the whole movie theme. Anyway, that's a side note. So, if we're not even aware of the food that we're eating, what we're calling food, if we're not aware of that, if we're not aware of what our true history is, if we're not aware of, the realities that should be there, are we even aware of ourselves properly? Now, I know there's a myriad of other opinions you guys are going to have on, where, I know who I am, I see that. I'm expecting. Don't tell me I'm not self-aware. I mean, there's a knee-jerk defensiveness that comes, spiderweb, knee-jerk defensiveness that a lot of people have. But if you are to truly, yes, I keep hitting buttons over here, feeling the phone vibrate. If we are truly to grow, we must ask ourselves these questions. Is self-awareness defined as whatever we choose it to be at the moment, whatever we choose to see ourselves as? if we're seeing ourselves as one thing, but physically our manifestation is a different thing, what's true? The reason I ask these questions, and things come up the way they do for our spiritual growth, is because we are in a period right now. I want to get back to using this thing. Got a lot of stuff to do over here. Thinking about things that are going to happen this fall. The reason we're all asking this question. Piglets are squealing. Is because we're coming to find out. We're looking in the mirror and going, wait a second. I thought I had red hair. This isn't red, it's black. We're observing that what we thought we existed in, or we thought we were, or we thought it was a situation, isn't that. And I understand that we're well into the change, but are we able to communicate our own awareness? Hey, Mittens. What you doing there, little one? This is our party girl. She disappears sometimes for 2-3 nights, and then she shows up and comes in and lays on the bed like, oh, nothing's wrong. We're like, where the hell are you at? She says, I just want to eat and lay down. I partied. Yeah, I see you. So we're moving into even more tumultuous situations because there's a lot more people that are actually becoming aware that what they thought they knew was not exactly correct. So I find it kind of odd that my dad is curious about and interested in. Pigs are squealing. They must be feeding. These guys fight each other when they eat. There's one of them that gets his nose bit like crazy by one of the others because they're fighting over a teat. But interesting that you're more concerned about elephant and octopi awareness, self-awareness, but you're not as aware as to the different beliefs and understandings of our world that have changed here in the last decade or so. I see what it was. They want to eat, but she wasn't letting them. Lay down, Mama. Let them feed. I think self-awareness is, you going to follow me too? She always walks in front of you, lays down, and says, look, I'm cute, rub on me. Self-awareness is one of those deals that, for one, we'll go back to my original statement. We don't really agree as a whole on the definitions of many, many, many words that we use in our own vocabulary. That definition for you is one thing, that definition for me is another. And we're reaching a point in time where the confusion of our communications is playing out. Our communications have broken down. Oh, and that's on another note, speaking of communications. Our communications were disrupted with these things right here. You want to go over there. She really wants to go over there and eat. Our communications might, what I'm hearing from a couple of our online individuals, is our communications might get interrupted. So for all of you who listen to this, if you haven't heard, be aware that sometime in a week or two or a couple weeks that there is the potential for you to lose social media contact with, here, let me move this over here. social media contact on those platforms, Facebook, that kind of thing. You want to come down here? Come on down here and eat. Come on. Yeah, there you go. I'll let you in. She stood there, wasn't so sure about it. There you go. Eat you some grass. Self-aware. These little critters, as cute as they are, I'm not sure they're self-aware the same as the cats are. I'm not sure they're self-aware anything other than their immediate drive, which is their bellies, their hunger, their need for food, and the small world they're living in. One of them, can't see it. I gotta look at its leg. That one. Day after they were born, she stepped on it and tore the skin off its leg pretty badly. And I took it in and, oh yay, fertilizer. Did you know you would be up to that, be seeing that kind of shit today? Erin's sharing some real shit with me today. Yeah, what's up with that crazy woman? Oh, you're gonna go too. Little pellets right there. They're all going. Cool. You too. Look. One triggers the other. So what is self-awareness? Do we even know what that means? That wire's on. What is self-awareness? I know this. Human beings were given or have something that no other living form has, that I have observed. We have that special thing. There's something that we have that I cannot observe in any other living creature. There are some things similar. There are some close things. There's some other animals that we want to find and find similarity in their characteristics, like dolphins and animals that have what appear to be higher level. The question is it truly? Same level of consciousness, the same level of self-awareness. There's this discussion about other two-legged, I'll just use the word aliens, that there's other species of humanoids, hominoids, whatever you want to call them, bipedal, upright walking races, or whatever, and that there's this discussion of their different levels of psychic ability, and there's this discussion about how or whether they even have souls. Everything's a part of consciousness. So if you take a perspective from the natural law of attraction, teachings and words of what it says about everything being energy, everything coming from thought. She's going to eat. She's eating the kale plants that I left down there. Kale. T and I found a website a couple weeks ago, was talking about piglets or pigs and stuff. We were reading them. She saw something about supposedly kale is like poisonous to them. I'm like, what the heck are you talking about? We have thrown more kale to our hogs than you can imagine. Never had a problem. Lies, mistruths. What's true? What's fact? What works? What doesn't work? Oh, get off the gate. You shithead. That's the one I need. I used to have some wire across here. These guys are and can be very destructive. If you do not have them trained to the only thing they respect is that electric wire. Otherwise, they trample everything they can. Or they'll dig up, or they'll tear up. Eat some more kale. Look at that. Num, 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 num. So, my friends, self-aware, what is self-awareness? If you don't realize what you're eating, if you're not aware of what's going into you, how can you be aware of what you are? You don't even know what you are. If you don't know your history, how long have humans been on this planet? Was it only 6,000 years, or is it 600,000 or 6 million years? There is plenty of evidence to support the idea that every bit of history that we know about has been screwed with to either a minor or major extent. So if you don't know who you are, how can you truly be self-aware? Even as a human being that's supposed to have a a consciousness and a soul. Good God, she's really enjoying that kale. Num num num. I know it's a deep discussion, but with everything that is occurring now, it to me seems like a couple of factors are actually occurring here. One, for all the metaphors that we've used, we are becoming more self-aware in that we're learning about things that were lied to us about. However, on a grand scale of things, how self-aware are we yet? And how self-aware, and what does that mean? What is the definition of self-aware? All right, that's probably long enough chit-chat. Just some thoughts. I'm hearing that there's a calm down scenario coming. Come here. I'll get those horseflies are horrible. Yeah, it's still on there, little one. And maybe it would be a good thing to shut off all these stupid communication devices, because then instead of being numbed by the technology that's thrown in front of our face, that we could stop and look in a mirror a little bit more and do more self-reflecting. This is what I always recommend that we do, is self-reflect. Look at ourselves, because if you want to understand our own experiences and our own manifestation, everything that we experience is from what comes in from within us. Yeah. Oh, don't thump me. Meow. All right. Y'all say goodbye to Smokey. God, this smoke. Can you feel the energy difference when this? Oh my God, it's totally different. I'll walk around and talk, and they'll always follow me. All right, folks. Say goodbye to the piggy using the... Hey! Stop that. She's a little Miss Bitch sometimes. Towards him, especially. All right, folks. Y'all take care, and leave your thoughts in the comment section. Love to hear what you guys think, because you are a part of the great spirit and great consciousness And we're all trying to figure this thing out together. Take care. Bye-bye.